I'm videotaping, so that'll help me keep time. So, welcome back, everyone. We have the music going. Wonderful. Let's start like we did yesterday on our backs, lying down, get comfortable. And this is actually called corpse pose or savasana.
I like Savasana better.
Yes, I like savasana.
Associated with little.
Corpse pose. I know.
You already mentally dead.
You want
I want to be
look
physical.
physically? Yes. So go ahead and get comfortable in savasana. Your hands can be anywhere on the body that is comfortable for you. They can be down at your sides with your palms lifted up. You can have them across the belly. One position I like to take when I come into savasana is one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest as I pay attention to the rise and fall of the chest and the diaphragm as I breathe. And that helps me remember to intentionally breathe and breathe deeply. We don't want the shallow breath that's just coming from the lungs. We want that breath that's coming from the diaphragm. And take a moment here to get centered. Just to remember that we are here on our mat just for about 30 minutes today. And in this time, we'll strive to be fully present, forgetting everything that happened before coming to our mat and trying not to concentrate on that to-do list after we leave our mat. Let's concentrate on the breath and think of any intention you might have for this practice. And that intention might be just to breathe deeply. Take a few more moments to breathe. I'd like to start out today just doing some stretches. You all will find a strap next to your mat. And I have more of a band than a strap, but I can use that band to show you what I have in mind. This pose is called reclining big toe. There are a few ways to take it. So you are coming into the pose lying down, but any way you can get that strap around the foot, you may have to raise up to do that, but you want the strap around the sort of the base of the foot. So you may need to come up to sitting in order to do that, just to get the band in place around the right foot. Take your time getting there, wherever you are, if you're sitting up doing it or if you're laying down, but we're going to get into reclined big toe. So we really want to be on our backs for this pose, and we're stretching, just trying to get a stretch in the hamstring. And so what the strap is doing for us is just giving us a little length. And it's called reclined big toe because, of course, some yogis can grab the big toe and get into this pose. Maybe you grab the calf, but with the strap, it should provide us with a little length. And so have some resistance there, flex the right foot into the strap, and pull a little bit just to what's comfortable for you, where you indeed feel a stretch in the back of the right leg. You can start to pull the right leg forward a little, if that's accessible, to feel a deeper stretch, and then you can bring it back up a little bit. Again, it's called reclining big toe pose. And we just want to get a stretch in that hamstring before we start to move today. Take a few breaths. You don't want to stretch too hard. It's fine to leave a bend in that knee. You don't want to overextend. Okay. So we've had a couple more breaths here with the right foot. You can remove the strap. Let the right leg fall gently down to the ground, and we're going to do the same thing on the left. So again, you may have to come up to seated to get that strap in place. Just round and more towards it's not the middle, the first third of the foot. Once in place, you're reclining, flexing the foot, so you feel a nice stretch in the back of the left leg. In the right leg, you can have that just relaxed, or you can put a flex in the right foot, so we're activating the right leg as well. And here's where you can do a gentle pull on the strap, bringing the left leg forward if possible. Remember, keeping a bend in the knee is always good. You're still going to feel a stretch in that hamstring. And again, you can move back and forth if that's comfortable. Okay, a couple more breaths here. Recline big toe on the left side. And then we can remove the strap. Here, while still on the back, place our feet on the earth so the knees are reaching up. Bend in the knee, and let's just windshield wiper. Back and forth. Move the legs back and forth. Okay, we come to center. And then we're going to take a bridge pose. We took this pose yesterday. While the knees are still bent, arms are along the side, palms face down. And on an inhale, you're going to raise up the glutes, the small of the back, in a bridge pose. It kind of looks like a leaning bridge pose. But on an inhale, we come to bridge. And the arms are pushing into the floor. The palms of the hands, the fingertips are pushing to the floor. And on an exhale, we can release the bridge. And let's try that one more time. Our bridge pose on an inhale. Raise our bridge. Hold for a couple breaths. And on an exhale, release the bridge. On an inhale, let's bring the knees into the chest. And massage the spine. So you can roll side to side. You can roll in a circle. If you roll in one direction, you want to make sure you do the same in the other direction. Again, just massage the spine here. Okay, when you feel you've massaged the spine enough, we're going to come into a seated position on our mat. When you're ready, seated position. And we'll do some more. And again, that cross leg, you don't have to bring the legs in. You can have them a little further out. This is a good cross-legged pose to do. If there are tight hips, tight thighs, you can do that. You can still do cat-cow from this position. So, hands can be on the knees, can be on the ankles. But on an inhale, We're going to expand the chest, let the heart shine. On an exhale, we curl the back for our cat position. Inhale for cow. Curve the back. Exhale. We'll do a few more of those in the time of your own breath. One more, cat-cow. And then come to the neutral back position. Let's do a couple twists before we rise to standing. And I just want to let everyone know today with our 30-minute class, we will do just one downward dog in some of our routines. So if you're trying to pace yourself and what you're going to do today or expecting, it will be just one. Okay? So let's place the left hand on the right knee. And the right hand is behind the hip a little bit. And let's turn slowly, gently, and try to look over the right shoulder. Giving us a little stretch on the left side of the body. On an inhale, we are back to center. Okay, for the other side, right hand reaches to left knee. Left hand is behind the hip. And again, we'll stretch, twist to the side, looking over left shoulder. Couple breaths here. All right. On an exhale, we come back to front. Breathe in a couple more times. Couple more breaths, we will meet standing at the front of the mat. Whichever way is easy for you to get there, move to the side and come to standing. Okay. On an inhale, let's have arms overhead. On an exhale, fall forward. On an inhale, halfway lift. On an exhale, fold forward. And on an inhale, we rise back up. On an exhale, hands come to prayer. Let's try that again. On an exhale, arms are up. Fold forward. Exhale. On an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. On an inhale, we're back to standing. And exhale, hands come to prayer. Let's spend a couple moments in prayer pose. Remember that any cues I give are just a suggestion. This is your practice, so make any adjustments that are suitable for you and for your body. On an exhale, arms are overhead. Inhale, exhale, fall forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. On an inhale, arms are overhead. And last time, exhale to prayer. One more time. Inhale, arms are up. Fall forward. Halfway lift. And let's all meet on the belly on the mat. And you may remember this from yesterday. We will do the 3 baby cobras here. Then you do a little to the spine and the small of the back. On an inhale, lift just the chest off of the mat. On an exhale, chest is forward. Remember, your arms are by your side. You don't want them to flare out. Trying to keep them near the rib cage. Hands are in touch with the earth. Fingertips, thumb. Let's try another baby cobra on an inhale. Exhale, down. And you want to have sort of a neutral neck. You don't want to have too much of a bend in your neck, sort of restrict the breath. On an inhale, we'll do one more baby cobra. Exhale, back down to the earth. Here, let's have arms by the side. And let's just turn the cheek, right cheek to the mat. Take a couple breaths here. When you are ready, let's meet in a downward dog. This is our first and only downward dog of our shortened practice today. You can go to downward dog from plank pose if you like. You can go from table pose, or you can just move into what's easiest to get in that upside down V-shaped position. Once here, you want to pedal out the legs, giving a stretch in the calf muscles. The head is heavy, hanging. You don't want to have any sort of tension and trying to hold the head in place. Just let it drop. And now we can walk the feet to meet the hands, and we're in a forward fold. On an inhale, arms are overhead. And here we're going to get into warrior one. Our left foot moves to the back of the mat at a 45-degree angle. Right knee is bent and tracking over the toes of the right foot. And this is warrior one. Let's take a couple breaths here in warrior one. Trying to, you don't have to square the hips, but you're trying to get those hips to sort of face toward the front, but they're not going to be all the way toward the front. So we always call that squaring the hips. Arms are overhead. And from warrior one, move into warrior two. That's hands at a T, arms at a T. Legs can stay the same. Arms are active. Palms are facing the ground. Your gaze, if you have your eyes open, off the fingertips. I tend to practice with my eyes closed. To me, yoga is like a moving meditation. But if you do have your eyes open, your gaze is off the tips of the fingers. One more moment here in warrior two. And then we're going to do a pose called side angle. Keeping the legs the same. You want right elbow on right thigh, and arm goes up. Right elbow, right thigh, arm goes up, and that's our side angle pose. Couple more breaths here. And on an exhale, we meet back on the mat on the belly. We cartwheel, hands down on the belly. And this time, left cheek rests on the earth, arms are by our side. Let's take a few moments here to reset. Come back to our intention of concentrating on our deep breath. Not worrying about how the poses look, but just the gratitude that we are here, making the effort to practice. On the inhale, we will meet at the top of the mat. You don't need to do Any plank poses. You're just going to go to the top of the mat in a forward fold. Sometimes we call this ragdoll. We can grab opposite elbows, swing side to side. You can just let the arms hang, let the head hang. Think about any tension you might be holding in the jaw. Relax the jaw. Should be a relaxed pose here. On an inhale, we will rise back to standing. And we will do those same warrior poses on the left-hand side. So we take left foot back to our mat, sort of parallel, or I'm sorry, you're right. Right leg goes back. We did that leg. The right leg goes back. Left knee is bent at the top of our mat for warrior one. That's right. So we've got right leg sort of at a 45-degree angle at the back of our mat. Left leg is bent forward. We don't want to go too far and overextend. So don't go. You should be able to see your toes over your knee. Arms are up. And we're trying to square the hips front. Again, this is our warrior one. Couple breaths here. And now we move to warrior two. Hands, arms at a T. And so with that back foot, you want to feel that entire back foot gripping the mat. Sometimes there's a tendency to sort of lean on the inside part of the foot. We want to make sure the outside part of the foot has contact with the mat as well. Arms are strong and activated here in warrior two. Couple more breaths. And on an exhale, we move to side angle. Left elbow rests on left thigh, and the right arm reaches up. If accessible to you, you can turn the head to look up at the right hand, or you can look down at your foot or some other neutral spot. Couple more breaths, and then we will cartwheel hands back down to the mat. Let's meet on the belly. And you can rest either cheek on the floor that's comfortable for you, arms at the side. And again, let's reconnect with the practice as we move into our next pose. In the next couple breaths, let's meet in a standing position at the top of our mat. We'll do a couple more balance poses, followed by a little more core work, and then we'll end in Savasana. Okay. Yesterday, this will be familiar. We'll do a couple tree poses, starting with the right foot. So I think the easiest way to get into tree poses is to first start with hands on the hips and take the right foot for tree pose. Again, you can keep toes on the ground for your tree pose. If you're comfortable in your balance, you may move that up to the calf. We want to avoid the knee, so some people are able to put that tree in the thigh, but here, tree at the ankle or the calf is just fine. When you feel stable in your tree, and if you need a wall, please move over to a wall to help you with the balance. When you feel stable, you can put arms in the air, or you can leave them on the hips. And let's take a couple breaths here. I mentioned with these balancing poses, I find it helps to look at something that is not moving and to fix your gaze there as you try to maintain your balance. Okay, Another breath. When we come out of it, let's shake it out. And then we'll find our tree pose on the left side. Again, hands on hips to get into tree. Come to the ball of the foot. You can stay right here for your tree pose, or you can move your tree up a bit. When you have your balance and you feel steady, you can raise the branches of your tree and stay here. Bring it up. A couple more breaths here. Okay, let it go. Shake it out. These are great. These are great looking tree poses. So let's try another balancing pose. This one is called Dancer, and there are a few different versions of Dancer pose. But we'll start with putting the weight in the left foot, getting a little light on the right foot, and you're going to take your right hand and grab ankle of your right foot and bring it behind you. Again, we've got lots of walls around. If that will help to steady your balance, you grab right ankle. You can stay here. What makes this a dancer pose is that left hand will go up. And again, try to look at something that is not moving to keep your balance. If you have this and you are looking for more with dancer pose, you can start to move forward, but staying right here is just fine. You can start to move forward in dancer. You can stay where you are. Come back up. Another breath. And then let's shake it out. Good. One more side. Put the weight in the right foot, getting light on the left. We'll take left hand, grab left ankle. Again, you can have hands on the hips. Again, so what we're working on in this pose is just the balance. We don't need to add the arm. We just want the balance on one foot. If you want to try dancer, right arm can go up. When you feel steady with right hand up, you may try and move forward, or you stay right there in dancer, concentrating on the balance in this particular pose, which is not an easy pose. We'll take a couple more breaths. Come back, and then we shake it out. Excellent, excellent. This is great. Okay. Arms are up on an inhale. Fold forward. Our exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Fold forward. And let's meet once more on the mat on our backs. Since I'm sitting like this, before we get into Savasana, we are going to do a couple high boat, low boat. Only a few high boat, low boat. So we're sitting up, legs are bent, feet are on the ground. We sit up in our boat, arms are straight ahead, palms are facing one another. This is our high boat. Inhale, on an exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. And let's do 4 more of these at your own pace with heels on or off the mat. One more. And then let's meet on the back. Nice. Let's bring the knees back into the chest. give a little massage, a little squeeze there, squeeze the thighs into the chest, rolling back and forth. Now, you can get comfortable, legs out on the mat, arms are by your side, palms can be facing up or face down as we come to Savasana. And this is your final resting pose. So this is 2 days in a row of not a very easy yoga class, but everyone stuck with it. So you should be proud of yourselves for your efforts today. As we start to wake up the body, you may turn the head from side to side. Walk the thumb across the fingertips. Start to move the toes. Gently bringing yourself out of Savasana. And you are welcome to stay here in Savasana. When you're ready, roll to your favorite side on the mat and just stay there in the fetal position for a few minutes. In the next couple of breaths, we'll meet cross-legged at the front of our mat. Hands at prayer. Thank you so much for another day of allowing me to be your guide in your practice. I hope your practice brings you a sense of enjoyment and peace. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, guys.
That was a nice package.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. At Mother's request, and I know she timed me. How'd that